Hello, family. How's everyone doing today? I hope everyone is doing well today. Is Leticia Tiffany's friend? Because Leticia has the same stomping ground as Tiffany's stomping ground location. And Leticia has scammed this couple and their family and friends out of $180K. Yes, turned their wedding into a terrible memory. Yes. So we're just asking that question. And we're going to talk about it in just 1 minute. And y'all know we got a whole lot of hot topics to talk about today. Y'all already know what we got to do for the ones in the back. This video is under fair use. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Acts in 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, and personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Yes, fair use. All rights and credits go directly to its rightful owner. This video is purely for fair use, opinion, and entertainment. Enjoy. And we also want to add that everything in this video is alleged. Yes. Yes, family. So, shout out to everyone. Thank y'all. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe if you are not a subscriber already. Thank you. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to our awesome and amazing moderators. Shout out to the replay gang. Shout out to the people in the comment section. Shout out to you all. Shout out to the old subscribers, new subscribers, all of y'all. Sending loves and hugs to you all. Thank y'all so much for your awesome support. Thank you. Now let's talk about it, family. Yes. Do these two know each other? Is this Tiffany homegirl? I mean, we're just asking a question. Is this Tiffany's homegirl? Do Tiffany know this chick? Because they have a lot in common. And their stomping grounds are very similar for some reason. Yeah, see, Leticia, her stomping ground is Dalton. Tiffany's stomping ground is Dalton. Leticia's stomping ground is Harvey. Tiffany's stomping ground is Harvey. Leticia's stomping ground is Nashville, Tennessee. Tiffany, if y'all remember, took a trip to Nashville that the feds are investigating as well. Yes. And Leticia's stomping ground is Chicago, and Tiffany goes stomping over there in Chicago as well. Oh, they got a lot of similar stomping grounds. And Leticia has a janky traveling agency that she has scammed thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars from a couple and from people throughout this United States with her janky business. Yes. So I find it quite strange that these two have a lot in common. Leticia also likes to take a trip or two, or she likes to take a lot of trips, let's put it that way, to Nashville. And we did notice that Tiffany went to Nashville as well. Y'all remember this right here? Where reports indicate that federal investigators have subpoenaed travel records for trips taken by Henyard and her staff, specifically mentioning Nashville, Washington, D.C., Las Vegas, and Portland, among others. Yes. Y'all remember that right there? Mm-hmm. And that Nashville stuck out because that's where Leticia's stomping ground is as well. And she got a lot of stomping grounds. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, see, when I heard about Leticia scamming people, I really looked into this because I travel myself, have a lot of friends and family who travel, and people needs to know not to deal with this lady right here, okay? Because she's a shyster. She's a scam artist. She takes people hard-earned money. And when I heard it, it broke my heart to hear how she did a couple and their family and friends regarding a wedding that they were supposed to have July 17th last month. And she took $180K from them and dipped. Yes. She dipped on them. And a lot of other people too. See, Leticia liked to take hundreds and thousands of dollars from people and take their hard-earned money. Tiffany liked to take the hard-earned taxpayers' dollars and take the government money as well. And Leticia is messing with the government's money because she haven't turned in any paperwork either for taxes. So, do they know each other? Because I find it quite strange that, wow, this is a real big coincidence for both of them to be in Illinois area, both of them to be stomping around in Dalton and Harvey and Chicago and all that right there. Yeah, so like if the people want to try to find where Miss Leticia could be hiding out at, yeah, I'm finna let you know where some of her hideouts are. Yes, it's public records. Yes, it is. Ain't that right, Leticia? Mm-hmm. It's public records. So, let's talk about it. Because this backyard Barbie mud pen is sitting around the same street as Tiffany's mud pen. Is this a big coincidence? Let's talk about it. It's mighty strange, okay? Now, what Leticia did was she took this couple's hard-earned money, their family money, their friends' money, said that she was going to book all the wedding things for them, and they all sent her the money for her to book their rooms and get their rooms ready, the travels and all that stuff. But instead, she took their money and dipped. Okay? Now, they call her Leticia Douglas. I noticed they were saying that when I was looking at this story on the news. But see, Leticia has a lot of different aliases. Yeah, just like the hen again, okay? They both stomping in Dalton. They both stomping in Harvey, Illinois. They both stomping up there in Chicago. They both stomping in Tennessee. They both so happens to have a lot of different aliases up under their names, okay? Big coincidence, isn't it, right? Mm-hmm. But anyway, we'll talk about Leticia's different aliases in a minute. Her 6 different stomping grounds. Yes, that she like to hide out at. Leticia was this couple's travel agency. Like I said, she dumped the folks out their money. Leticia told the couples and the family and the friends that she had all their travel arrangements done. Their hotel rooms was already arranged and ready to go. They sent her the money, the $180K, to her agency called Fly Girl World Travel. And then Fly Girl Leticia dipped. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she dipped on them. So, let's hear about it. Cause that was messed up right there, what she did. Yeah, family, she told them that, oh yeah, y'all ain't gotta worry about nothing. I have everything ready for y'all and all that. Didn't have nothing. Check it out.
When we calculated everything over 180K. she was having, it was going to her bank account. Some people had the same bank account as her. I had been trying to contact her for days, and she hadn't responded.
So they've been trying to contact Miss Leticia for a while now, because see, their wedding was scheduled July 17th, as y'all see right here. It was scheduled for the 17th. Oh, well, everybody was going to come in on the 17th, okay? But the wedding date was on the 19th, okay? But it was no rooms reserved, no travels reserved. They was out of the money. And so everybody was stranded with no rooms, nowhere to go, and they had forked out thousands and thousands and thousands to Leticia. Okay? And they was trying to contact her. She don't want to answer the phone. She's not returning emails. None of that. Just dipped. Finessed the people. Now let's finish hearing what they said this Yardbird did.
9 rooms on it, and the rooming list that the resort sent us had listed 12.
Now, yeah, listen to that again. She said that they had 39 rooms. That's what Leticia, that's what they had booked. 39 rooms. And when they called to that hotel, because this wedding was supposed to be in Mexico. And when they called that hotel, the people said, well, they had less than 9 rooms reserved. But Leticia said that she had booked, paid for all 39 of them people room, until those people started calling because they wasn't getting their confirmation numbers for the rooms and all that, and they was calling the hotel, and the hotel was like, we don't know what y'all talking about. Now, we do have like 9 people that rooms are paid for, but not no 39. What? Wow. So check it out, family.
It had 39 rooms on it, and the rooming list that the resort sent us had listed 12.
Had less than 12. Now, this is when the news people was trying to call Leticia, and every time people tried to call Leticia, this is what they get when you call Leticia, okay? You're going to get, we're sorry, your call can't be answered at this time.
Your call cannot be completed as dialed.
The service you're attempting to use has been restricted or is unavailable.
Now, that's what you get when you call this backyard gutter trash Leticia, okay? So she took the money and she dipped. Point blank, period. Wow. 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 Now, y'all see, Chicago couple claims wedding dreams were stolen by travel agent in a $180K scam. The wedding that wasn't the couple hired Leticia Douglas, we'll talk about that in a minute, that name, owner of Fly Girl World Travel, LLC, to help coordinate their wedding and everything. And she just, she scammed them. Point blank, period. Vacationers lose thousands, say Chicago travel agent, left them stranded. Where's my money? So everybody is looking for their money. And when I saw this, I just hate for people to have to go through, because this is not the only people Leticia has done this to. Leticia has done this to a lot of other people as well. And let's go through that, because she's also a felon. She has a felony from back in 2004 for scamming too as well. But you'll see that the I-team, I guess that's the news people, is investigating a Chicago travel agent accused of leaving people stranded on their vacation and running off with thousands of dollars. People from all over the country told the I-Team the travel agent owes them money. One local woman said her family paid the travel agent Leticia Douglas tens of thousands of dollars for their Aruba trip. So she done took a lot of people's money. She done took people that's supposed to been going to Aruba. She also took some people money that was scheduled to go to Europe. And then she took this couple and their family and friends money that was supposed to do this wedding in Mexico. So she just duking them all over the joint, okay? She just tearing them up all over. Now, y'all see, they said she never booked their hotel rooms and ran off with their cash. Yeah, she did. Leticia ain't playing with them. Yeah. Yeah, she low down. So, it says, people in other states said they were ripped off too. Now police are investigating. So, yes, the police is on her trail and trying to find her and things like that, you know. But we just noticed that, you know, when we watched a lot of different articles on Leticia, they kept saying Leticia Douglas, right? And so, if you're really looking for Leticia Douglas, you might come up empty because she has a lot of AKAs. So, you know how the cafe team does. Like to help people out and show people there's other names that they might want to look at and other places that they might want to look at to kind of help them cooperate with law enforcement to try to run Leticia up out of her little hiding spot she got running around here. Oh, she got a lot of hiding spots, family. So for the ones who want their money back, you might want to pay close attention to what Cafe has to say. Yeah, Leticia. Because I wasn't feeling it at all. And all of this is public records. Yes, it is. Okay? So, these are some of the money that they were sending for their wedding. Okay? They were sending like 150 here, 150 there, 250 here, 150 there. They were sending deposits, payments, partial payments, you know what I'm saying? They was just sending her till she banked up with 180K. And that's when she jetted. Now, this is another case that somebody else had reported. Has nothing to do with this couple who was doing the wedding. This is a whole nother thing. That these people said that they paid Leticia $2,300 and found no reservation, no travel flights, nothing. Okay? Paid installments for a dream trip to, where it say, family? It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. They couldn't even get to Egypt, nowhere. Europe, nowhere. Everybody booking flights to London, everywhere, and she taking their money and dipping with it. So she banking. So she banking for real. You see, so they said, I'm trying to see, can y'all get it? Okay. So y'all see here, this is one person said, you know, that the nature of their complaint, they want a refund, you know, and they said that I booked a trip to Europe with Egypt with Fly Girl World and said that they didn't get anything. She did not send them anything. And Leticia Douglas was supposed to do all of this October the 12th, 2025, because that's when the trip is supposed to be planned to go. Okay? So these people plan to go on this trip on October the 12th, 2025. That's not even here yet. But they paid her because she was saying that she have to book this and get all this together and everything. So this is supposed to be their dream trip, okay? And they said I paid monthly installments totaling $3,964. My trip payments were complete in October 2024. So they paid almost like a year in advance for their trip. I recently discovered Leticia Douglas is a scam artist who has robbed many people of their money through her travel business. She is no longer responding to telephone calls. Her Fly Girl World Travel website has been removed. She cannot be located. Many people have stated that she has taken their money yet never booked trips, or they arrived in locations around the world only to have no hotel accommodations. Wow. And the Fly Girl or whatever world only to have no accommodations, and so they have reported her to the FBI, Better Business Bureau, and all that stuff like that. But she's still on the run, got people money, won't answer the phone, none of that. She's hiding out, okay? So the Fly Girl World Travel, based out of Chicago, Leticia Douglas and her business partner, husband, Scott Douglas. That's another thing, family. We're going to talk about Scott Douglas, too, because they're saying that Scott Douglas is a husband. But as we was looking into it, public records, it seems like it's more of a companion / could be brother / more than a husband. Now, if it is her husband, it's a lot of stank regarding the relationship that's inside how it was created. Anyway, her business partner, husband, Scott Douglas, needs to be prosecuted. And they want their money. They want their money. They want their money. And then this one here was saying that they did 4 payments. This is somebody else. They said they gave Leticia like 4 payments totaling $2,349, okay, for a trip to Jamaica scheduled for July 31st to August the 4th. Never did happen. Just like none of the rest of them. So you got one want to kind of go to Egypt, and you had another one wanted to go to Europe. I didn't put all of them up there, but it was so many that was saying, hey, she got our money for this. We were supposed to be going to Jamaica. We were supposed to be going to Mexico. We were supposed to be going to Egypt. We were supposed to be going to Europe. We were supposed to be going here. We were supposed to be going there. And we gave her our money, and we gave her allotments, and we gave her $4,000, $2,000, $3,000. And then we never heard from her, and we have no hotel reservations or travels scheduled or anything. She just dipped. So these are these people saying that another set of people said she did them like that for their trip that they were supposed to take to Jamaica. The final payment was submitted on April the 7th. As of July 3rd, the company has proven no travel documents. Not at all. My travel companions began checking and reaching out to the business on July 3rd via various channels and have not received response. I called the hotel directly, and a reservation has not been made under my name. We also conducted a search on Facebook under Fly Girl World Travel, and there are multiple reports of similar incidents. I am requesting a return of my money, and I would like for this business to be closed due to fraudulent activity. So she done got everybody, family. She has been banking. So like we said, she got $180K from the people wedding and their families and friends. That's not including all the people she has gotten throughout the United States. And people need to be aware of Leticia, a.k.a. Douglas, a.k.a. Allen, a.k.a. a lot, okay? And we'll go through that in a minute. But she's gone. Now, I know this is blurry, but it was blurry like that on the news thing. But when everybody started clowning and reaching out to her, Leticia had someone on her behalf to write one letter and put it on her Facebook or something, right? And they put up there on behalf of Leticia that they wanted to tell everybody on behalf of the Fly Girl World Travel, first I want to apologize for the hardship and inconvenience this is causing. Leticia is in the hospital. Bam. Now, see how they playing in folks' face? Talking about she's in the hospital. No. And asked me to reach out to you guys regarding your trips as she is unable to complete her duties. Please dispute the charges with your bank ASAP and you will get a refund. Okay? So blah, 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 blah. But the thing is, the person who wrote this did not put a telephone number that anybody can contact them at. They didn't say who it was writing the letter. This is what the news had put up there, okay? They didn't put any of that. They just said they was writing on behalf of Leticia Douglas and the Fly Girl Travel Agency, okay? And that she was in the hospital and cannot perform her duties, so therefore just get with your bank and try to get the money back. How are they going to get the money back? Even if they dispute it, she done already spent it. She's not answering phone calls or nothing like that to dispute all these banks. And they know that. They know that. And that's messed up. And it don't matter if she's been in the hospital or not. She could at least had the decency to tell them, hey, write my name down there and telephone number down there. But she don't want to be found. Nah, she don't want to be found. Not at all. So as you will see that Leticia says that she is Tish Douglas. That's another name she'll go by, okay? And she's the owner and operator of the Fly Girl World Travel LLC, a full-service travel company specializing in group activities, events, and all that stuff like that. But, yeah. So it was somebody putting up on the TripAdvisor website that, hey, don't y'all book with these people right here. She's a scam warning. You'll see down there it have scam warning. Do not book with this person. The Fly Girl World Travel LLC, okay, which is Tish Douglas, Leticia Douglas. She uses those two names and some more, which we're getting ready to go through in a few minutes, okay? And you'll see people here talking about it. They were saying, y'all heard the story about Fly Girl World Travel LLC. If you know anything about Leticia or her husband, Scott Douglas' whereabouts, please let us know at such and such, such and such, okay? Well, hopefully a lot of them is watching this because we don't know exactly where they at, but we definitely know around their stomping ground. Yes, and different names that she uses that might can help some people track Leticia down, or at least, you know, we're talking about the right way, the correct way, and use law enforcement and contact law enforcement and see that in these areas is she's around those areas, okay? So this is Leticia. The news people went to her mom's house and they was like, hey, is your daughter here, whatever? No, she's not here. And the news lady said, well, do you know she done scammed and took about 180K from just one couple that she was supposed to been doing the wedding for? She said, oh, well, you can get a number. So when the mother gave her that number, the news lady the number, that's when y'all heard the doom, we're sorry. No one is available, this, that. But I noticed when the news people was talking to Leticia's mother, her mother didn't say, what? Like, shocked. You know how, like, some people were like, wait a minute now, my daughter did what? She took what? Scam what? When? None of that. It's given mama already knew. And mama probably getting broke off too. Allegedly, that's what it was given. Because mama didn't even... When that lady said that, mama just said, oh, well, let me give you her number. What? You ain't got nothing else to say like, wait a minute now, ma'am. You said she did what? When? Well, I don't know nothing about that, honey, but here go a telephone number, something like that. None of that. A mess. Okay, so now the Secretary of State said that they are investigating or, you know, they looking into the matter. Okay, Fly Girl World Travel LLC has not been investigated by the Secretary of State. However, it is currently in not good standing and status as of July 1st, 2025, because it did not submit an annual report to the office before this deadline. So what the Secretary of State saying, well, we're looking into it now because she didn't hand in her annual report that she's supposed to do for having her business operating, okay? And they said if an annual report is not filed by January the 1st, 2026, the entity will be involuntarily dissolved, okay? Her business will no longer be good in the state of Illinois. This business could submit an annual report, pay the annual fees and penalty fees before January 1st, and return to good standing status after that date. I don't get it. I don't get it. Because if you got a lot of people, they saying, okay, if she pay them they penalties and fees and all that, they'll put her back in good standards with the state for as business-wise. Well, what about the people that she took money from? She shouldn't be in good standards, even if she does her annual report, put in all her paperwork she's supposed to turn in by January the 1st, 2026. She still should be made to say, hey, you can't be in good standards until we see if all of these complaints are resolved in some type of way. But, hey, that's them. But it's some other states don't play that at all, you know. Then you had the Attorney General of Illinois say this of Illinois. We are attempting to mediate customer complaints we have received about this business. That's all. And you go to her website, it's down. It looks like that, so her website was taken down. Then you will see this right here. If you look up the Fly Girl World Travel LLC, it'll say this group is temporarily paused for 30 days. The admin paused this group on July 28, 2025. Group activity will resume on August 27. Really? Really? So we're going to see if it resumes in August 27. That's this month. So, Leticia also goes by, y'all will see, Nicknames, public records, all public records, okay? Leticia Douglas from Chicago, Illinois. She also goes by Leticia T. Richardson. So see, a lot of people might be looking for Douglas, and she's running around using Richardson, so people can't really find her like they want to find her. Can't get their money back and stuff like that. So you'll have to ask for all these names and put in and make sure that your local law enforcement knows that, hey, look, y'all do know that she got this name, that name, that name. Now, y'all probably already knew it, but nobody told us. But now we know it, so now we telling y'all. Now we hoping that somebody can track her down up under these names in these certain 7 states or certain 7 areas that she be stomping in and hiding at. Yes. Try to bring out the toxic crab. Yeah. But anyway, she go by Leticia T. Richardson, Latasha T. Allen, Latasha Allen, Latasha Richardson, Allen L. Richardson, Leticia Richardson, Lattice Richardson, Leticia T. Allen. Okay? So, those are all the names that and most likely she's going to probably open up another business, if she haven't already, up under somebody else's name and trying to scam them. So I just felt like, because we travel, we needed to know this as well, because a person out here scamming and traveling and taking people money, people need to be alert of this Leticia Douglas, aka all these other names as well. Yeah, because she getting the people. And like I said, in 2004, she was in trouble for fraud, a felony 3rd-degree charge. Now, in 2025, it's the same criminal behavior, scamming people out of hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions. Okay? And the news said that she has ties to Tennessee, which is where they said that this Scott Douglas, who was allegedly her husband, that she has ties to Tennessee and most likely could be in Tennessee. Well, most likely could be in other places as well, okay? Such as Nashville, Tennessee, okay? In Davidson County. And Hickory Hills, Illinois. And Chicago, Illinois, and Beloit, Wisconsin, Beloit, Wisconsin, and Harvey, Illinois area in the zip code of 60426, and Everett, Washington. Okay, Washington, Everett, Washington, and Dalton, Illinois. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 places that Miss Leticia loves to stomp and hide out. But I did know that and hopefully that can help somebody who she done took all their money from. But anyway, I noticed that the news was saying about she has ties to Tennessee, her husband, allegedly husband in Tennessee, so she might be there. I just gave y'all some more places that Miss Leticia could be, where law enforcement and the people who she's scammed might can try to get law enforcement to see if these names are coming up in those areas, okay? And Leticia does have that Douglas name. All public records, okay? All public records. She does have that Douglas name, But she does use that Allen name a lot, okay? She does use this Allen name a lot. And as you will see, she uses mostly Richardson or Allen more than she do the Douglas, okay? But in that fly girl world business, she was using Douglas because she knew when she scammed people, people were going to be looking for Douglas. But her mainspring that she normally really be going by is the ones that y'all see here on the screen. Yes, Now, Leticia, also, they said she had ties to Illinois, which was the Scott Douglas. I covered this person up because that person has nothing to do with her scamming and her trifling ways, okay? And her snake oil business. But, not that I know of, but I wasn't going to put them up there because the news did mention Leticia Douglas and Scott Douglas, okay? So those are the two that I'm showing. But you will see that she's more connected to Edwards Douglas in Nashville, Tennessee, who passed away in like 2002, okay? That person passed away. And it seems like that person was more connected to Scott. But it looks like Leticia was closer to the Edward Douglas than Scott Douglas. So for them two, for the Scott, who they say is her husband, and Leticia to fall up under this person in Tennessee, but this person is now no longer here. But for them two to fall up under this person, it's given that Scott Douglas really is related to this person, not her. But for some reason, she's keep coming up close to this man more than Scott, which leaves me, was she, this is just allegedly now, this is just my scenario, was she messing with the older Douglas first? Then when the older Douglas passed, then she started messing with Scott? Or are they really brothers and sisters? It's just a question. That's just my scenario, allegedly. I'm just putting that out there. But I just noticed when they were saying that was her husband, we seeing a little bit more deeper and different and stank surrounding that, okay? But they do hang tight together, these two right here. Rather it's AKA husband, or rather AKA stepbrother, or AKA brother, or AKA just close friends. Now that the older one is gone, now those two are tight. Hey, I'm just giving out scenarios. I'm just saying what it show, okay? Public records. I'm sorry, okay? Now, so like I said, it's given. Now, this man here, Edward Douglas, he passed in 2002 in Nashville, Tennessee, okay? And it looks like he was much closer to Leticia than the Scott Douglas, okay? Yes. Now, could be a husband. I'm just saying. And it could not be, allegedly, you know? So, it smells like skunk meat throughout that relationship there. But they do hang together, and they are like two peas in the pot. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was the Scott Douglas and Leticia who wrote that letter talking about she's in the hospital. And on her behalf, I'm writing this and all that crap right there. But that's basically their stomping ground. And Scott Douglas, his stomping ground is basically more in Tennessee. So see, when she do her dirt in Illinois and other places throughout the United States, she's saying that her business is based. She's saying her business is based out of Chicago, Illinois. Well, when stuff goes sour like it did, and she started taking from people like she did. Now, at one time, they say her business, she was on the up and up when she first started it, but then somewhere along the line, she started snaking people and finessing people and acting like a crab. Yes. The business turned janky. And she was running all over these United States, finessing people with high heel flip-flops on. Yes. But it's given that she used Chicago, and then when she knew stuff was going to go sour, she already had it in the making that it might go sour, she can run back over there in Tennessee. Or, and start her business, or hide. Or she can run back to Wisconsin, hide. Or she can run back to Washington, hide. Yes. Or Hickory Hills, Illinois. Or that Nashville, Tennessee in the Davidson County area. Or the Harvey, Illinois area. Or the Dalton, Illinois area. She got ties to all of them. Yeah. Yeah. So now that we have told people who Leticia really is and where most of her stomping grounds are, yes, and where they are located, some of her stomping grounds are located, maybe the victims can contact law enforcement to help them track her down, and they can start the process of trying to get their money back, and they can lock her ass up. Next. Yes. I don't like yard birds taking the people money. Because, I mean, we travel. We know a lot of people that travel. You know, and I just think that's so wrong, man. You taking people money like that. And she ain't going for no little things. She trying to do events. See, when you do events, you get money for up to about 20 or more rooms. And then you get money for about 20 or more travel bookings, you know. So she just duking the people out of big change. Yes. Her and Scott. That's what it's giving. Yes. And the thing is, I want to mention this too, because the news said that the couple that was doing the wedding, they never met Leticia in real life, like in face to face. They was communicating from her from jump through the internet, email, text, things like that. Come on, people, we got to do better. If somebody's gonna be planning your hotel bookings and all that, your travel fees and all that, you need to see this person face to face. Especially if you know, like when you planning a wedding and you're planning a hotel for everybody to be in, and you calculate that and you see that it's about $180K and stuff like that, that's not something you just put in somebody's hand that you can't see face to face. Get the card, get the telephone number, interact with them a couple of times and all that stuff before you even plan this wedding. I mean, you planning it, don't get me wrong, but what I'm saying, before y'all even decide, well, yeah, we're going to use this travel agency. You have to, because if they had a sat down with this person face to face, they probably would have caught something that would have changed their mind, like, I ain't feeling her too well. You know? So when you catch a person that don't have time to meet you face to face, or, well, we tried to meet her face to face, but she kept saying she was booked for this and she was tied up for that, and she was that, well, then that means she ain't got time for your event. And me, myself, we book all our own stuff. We don't use no travel agency. And I'm not trying to, stop no travel agency bags and stuff like that. But, I mean, it's real easy to do because, like I told y'all, I planning some events and stuff like that. And I've even told my family, say, hey, just call the hotel and ask the hotel what type of discount and accommodations can they accommodate you with if you bring about 20 or more guests that's going to get rooms. And they'll say, well, how many rooms they going to have? And you say, well, we're going to have about 25 rooms. What kind of discount and accommodations can we get with that package? And they'll give you a number. And say, okay, well, if you have 25 rooms booked for this day, if you can get them all to book it by this time, then we'll do it for about 10% off or something like that. And then we can throw in our conference room for y'all to have a conference day in our conference room. Be like, okay, cool. So it's a lot of things like that y'all could do yourself for family reunions, you booking stuff like that. Yeah, you can do that yourself. But I ain't trying to stop no travel agency badge because travel agencies do a good job too as well. But I mean, sometimes you have to see them face to face when you're talking about big chunks of loot like that. $180K just for rooms and travel. That's not even including the food and the wedding itself. That's a lot of money. Anyway, move on from this yard bird. Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe, it got another lawsuit dropped on top of his head. From Miss Tillman. That's a black lady. For him, she said defamation and all that. And we're going to get into it. But Shannon having a rough time around this camp here. Little Gabby, she just dunked him out of millions and millions of dollars just about 2 weeks ago. Now, he got 2 more lawsuits on his head because he got one from his ex. He got an ex that had filed a lawsuit on him ever since 2023. Hers just haven't been settled or nothing yet. But this here new one that just dropped this week was Miss Tillman. Yes. And she ain't feeling it. See, little Gabby already had done stuck Shannon. And you can see in her face this girl here is young. She is young as all outdoors. Look at this. Look at this. Shannon know better. And then little Gabby was saying that on her OnlyFans, when she was doing OnlyFans, she done retired now since she got Shannon money. She put it on her post on OnlyFans. She said, hey, look here, y'all. I appreciate all of y'all looking at my boots and my cheeks and my little old cherry balls up top and all that stuff like that. But I done retired now because I don't have to do OnlyFans no more. I'm banking. So I've retired off of OnlyFans, and thank you to all my customers and friends that was, supporting me when I was shaking it and all that stuff. Now, Shannon done let this young chick here, because she was 19 when he started messing around, okay? But he done let this little chick here. She said that she required $25,000 a cheek, okay? So Shannon done lost his money to an all-around cheap thot, okay? And a young one, too, a sugar baby. So she done retired, and that's millions gone, and she done laughed her way to the bank. Yes, that is little Gabby. Now, and I remember Shannon saying a while back his daughter was getting married, and he was saying she want me to pay for it, and I told her limit is $30,000. And then him and Chad Ocho Cinco was talking, and Chad said, $30,000, that's all? He said, yeah, that's all. I told her that they better get some fish plates and cornbread and a styrofoam cup with sweet tea and feed all the guests. That's about $10 a plate. And then she get a wedding dress and do all that, that's $30,000. But I'm not going no more than that. So he wouldn't spend no more than $30,000 on his daughter's wedding, but gave Gabby millions for a cheeks that really ain't got no meat on it. What? Boy, I tell you. Boy, I tell you. And not saying I think $30,000 is good for him to say, hey, yeah, I'm going to give my daughter $30,000 for the wedding. I'm just saying, you know, you put a cap on the wedding, but $30,000 is much cheaper than millions that Gabby got. And Gabby ain't even related. Wow. 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 You gonna throw money like that away? I'd have rather put it on my daughter's wedding than to give it to Gabby. I'd have said, I'm broke. If I'd have knew I was going to have to give her some millions, I'd have said, you know what? We're going to have a $20 million wedding. I'm finna spend all my shit before I even give it to her, because she trying to dupe me anyway, and this was all in her plan. So, hey, she ain't going to have nothing and I ain't going to have nothing. I'm going to put everything in my daughter's wedding. Yes, yes. Or I'm putting a hell of a lot of stuff in somebody else's name, because you sure ain't getting it. Gabby done dunked them. Now, this lady here, she said, Chicago woman files $20 million defamation lawsuit against Shannon Sharpe and Chad Johnson. Okay? Now, when she said that they got up there on their show, she went to Usher's concert. Her and Usher told her to come up on stage and told other women to come up on stage, about 5 or 6 women. But her and Usher had a real heated dance, okay, on stage. And that went viral. And her and Usher, yeah, they had some, they had a good dance, let's put it that way. Okay, they had a good dance. And it went viral. And Shannon Sharpe and Chad got on their podcast and they started saying that the woman was married and that the woman's husband left her and he filed for a divorce because of her and Usher's heated dance on stage. And that lady said they was lying because she is not married, don't even have no husband, none of that. Okay, she's a career woman, don't have no husband, okay? So, her lawsuit just dropped on Shannon and Chad. And she said she had been trying to contact them when they first said it. And she said people was on her job telling her that she lied on some of her paperwork, saying that she wasn't married. And she's trying to tell them she's not married. And they trying to tell her she is married because they heard it on Shannon Sharpe and Chad's podcast. And she said it put her in a lot of situations pertaining her career that she had to keep correcting what they said, to the point where she had to even get on her local news and tell them that, hey, could y'all help me out, because their platform is much huger and I don't have a platform. So her local news let her come on to tell the people she's not married, she never had a husband when she was up there with Usher, ain't no husband divorcing her, none of that. She's a single mom, she has a good career, and all that stuff there. So in the process of her trying to get out to the public that what Shannon and Chad was saying was a lie, she was also, her and a lawyer or somebody was trying to contact Shannon and Chad and tell them, hey, that's a lie. I could prove it. I could send documents, but could y'all please take that down? It's messing with my career and things like that. And she said they was ignoring her and they never would answer her. This is what she said, allegedly. She said they just ignored her. I guess they thought, nah, whatever, she ain't gonna do nothing or whatever. And then when she gave them ample time, then that's when she decided to drop the lawsuit. When she dropped the lawsuit, then they took it down. Okay, you can't really find it. She said it's still on Apple, but we tried to go to Apple and find it, and it's not there. You know, but she said it was there. So maybe it was there before we checked, but we tried to check. We didn't hear it. We didn't see it on Apple. But I do remember them saying something like that. And they got people that have clips of it in their videos of Shannon and them saying it and joking about it and things like that, okay? So, this is what it is. He's being sued by her. And in the court documents exclusively obtained by the U.S. Sun, the woman, Jamelita Tillman, is suing Shannon Sharpe, as well as his nightcap co-host, Chad Osinko, okay, Johnson, by saying that she was married and getting a divorce and all that stuff. But that's the little scene where her and Usher was on stage and got kind of heated, and they had a little nice little dance there, you know, steamy dance. And the woman claims that the host knowingly just told a blatant ass lie about her being married. Her marriage status, she don't have one. Okay? And Sharpe, who is 57, just settled a $50 million lawsuit with Gabrielle. Okay? And she said that on April the 2nd, 2025, I participated in a fan engagement moment at the Usher Raymond concert, where I interacted with the artists as a selected audience member. Okay, so yeah, so she was doing, you know, having fun, a fun moment there or whatever. Following the event, the defendants made all kind of statements, family, saying, well, like I said, you know, they was making a joke out of it as well, too, saying, yeah, now she ain't got no man, and her husband left her, and he filed for a divorce. Now she gonna need Usher to take care of her and all that kind of stuff like that, okay? So they just joked about that she was married and that my husband was filing for a divorce due to my participation in the audience experience. I am not married, nor am I currently going through a divorce, okay? She went on to explain, I am not married at the time of the fan participation moments during the Usher concert. The defendant's false narrative was shared widely across their platform, reaching millions of followers. Viral spread. It did. It went viral all over the place, and she said it messed up her reputation because of the false narrative that was spreaded about her, okay? And the woman is the global director for the Harold Washington Culture Center. Said she even went on national media shows to refute the allegations from the ESPN First Take star that she was a married woman. So, like I said, she did. She went on a couple of news platforms in her local area to try to correct what they were saying. But, hey, she was the butt of the joke. It had already did most of the damage, so it wasn't really nothing. You know, some people seen her local news, some people didn't. I didn't see it, you know. I asked some of my team members, did y'all see where she tried to correct that? They was like, no. So evidently, the media that she went to didn't push out hard like Shannon and them podcasts do, you know. So, hey, the last we knew is that lady was getting a divorce and the husband was divorcing her and things like that, but which wasn't never true. I didn't realize it wasn't true until she came and filed this here lawsuit. And I said, oh, man, that was a lie, So, because they never did come back on their podcast and correct it. She said she also asked them to correct that lie, and they never did, okay? She said, despite trying to contact her, they still left all that stuff on their social media platform. And she said she made numerous efforts to contact the defendants to request the removal of this false narrative, but these requests were disregarded. Okay. So it just continued. And she said that it was reckless and they act like her trying to contact them, she was just a little fish in the pond. They weren't finna correct nothing. Hey, they got a lot of clicks and views and likes off of it, and that's all that mattered, allegedly. That's how she felt. And so she did what she had to do, and that's drop that lawsuit. She said the ongoing misinformation has resulted into emotional distress for the plaintiff, damage her reputation, and all that. So, but my thing is, I know a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, well, that's kind of petty," It's real petty for her to sue them over that. But yeah, I have to understand, if she said it affect her business and it affect her reputation, it affect a lot of things. Hey. You just can't blatantly lie. Now, I can understand, like, if they would have been saying, yeah, she was up there loose and she was acting loose and things like that, But to say, yeah, and her husband left her and it's an imaginary husband because the lady ain't married. Yeah, and he went up there, I guess, to make the story sound even more exciting, or they got it from somewhere else, and instead of fact-checking, they went on with it. And on a big platform like Shannon and Chad's, it just went viral, And whatever. So Shannon's team and everybody, they said in a conversation with the U.S. Sun, Tillman, that's the lady, she added, we've been in communications with the legal team of Shay Media, who was also representing Shannon Sharpe. They are looking to resolve this matter quickly, and we will probably have more to share upon our next conversation. The lawsuit comes on the heels. Okay, so she said that now that her lawyer has contacted them, and they did some discussions, they are having discussions, and she's saying that Shannon Sharpe's legal team is saying, hey, let's try to settle this and resolve this matter as quickly as possible. So what that mean, I don't know. But it looks like it means she didn't say nothing about they still ignoring her, I can tell you that. Now she's saying they're not ignoring her, that they are talking to her, and they are looking to resolve this matter quickly. So, So see, it's like, that's what I say about people on the internet, like they be janking or, talking and cracking jokes on people and things like that. Rightfully so, they can do that. But when you start adding in things that's definitely not true, you can get in trouble for that, especially if it affects that person's career, reputation, and all that stuff. Yes, that person can do something about that, whether people like it or not. That's why they said fact check some things first, before you just like when they said, oh, when they first saw the story or they heard it from somewhere or whatever, however they decided to say it, it seems like they should have first said, let's fact check this first and look into see if she really married or is it true. Because there's a lot of people that put stuff out here that is not true, or they haven't really fact checked it, and then they'll roll with it. Then they have to come back and say, oh, my bad, it wasn't like that. My bad, I got misinformation. My bad. And sometimes that do happen, but when it get to happening, and then it might cost you a little something, you'll learn to fact check a lot of stuff before saying it, you know. But when she said that she contacted them and asked them to please take that down, that's not true. I could prove that it's not true. I'm not married, none of that. Can y'all please take that down because it's ruining my reputation? I just felt like they should have took it down. And maybe her email fell in a whole bunch of thousands and thousands and thousands of emails that they get every day and they didn't see it. But now they're not ignoring it. Wow. Wow. And this right here, to prove defamation, a plaintiff must typically establish 5 key elements. The statement was published, which it was said. It was said. It identified the plaintiff. Yeah, they was talking about her. The statement was false. Yeah, it was false. It caused harm to the plaintiff's reputation, and the defendant was at fault. So that's all she needs for a defamation. And people don't realize how easy they could fall into a defamation lawsuit, because that is all they need. Publication. The defamatory statement must be communicated to at least one person other than the person being defamed. Yes. It was all, they said it on the podcast, which was told to other people. Everybody, a lot of people heard it. Identification. The statement must be about the plaintiff, even if they aren't explicitly named. So see, it's some people that try to throw out a lot of subliminals and stuff like that. But if you got a person name in the title, or if you got a person picture up there, but you're not saying their name, but you're saying certain things, that person could say, yeah, they talking about me. So you can identify that. Falselyhood. The statement must be factually untrue. And it was. She's not married. Okay? The defamatory statement must have caused actual harm to the plaintiff's reputation. She said it did. Okay? She said she works for like that Harold's Culture place and things like that, and that a lot of people was coming up to her and telling her that she gave misinformation, and a lot of other places that she deal with that depends on credibility. They were saying, you didn't tell us that. We didn't know you was married. You said you wasn't. And she said, I'm not. And it just caused a lot, she said, you know, and the stress, you know, and the fault. You know, the defendant must be at fault for publishing the false and defamatory statement. So that's the defamation. So that's probably why that they are in talks of trying to resolve the matter. Point blank, period. Now, this lady says she wants $20 million. Will she get $20 million? I don't think so. You know, but I think they probably will meet somewhere in the middle for a settlement. That's what I'm feeling, you know. But a lot of people take their reputation serious, and they take their business serious, and they don't like for people to lie on them. And their reputation is their career, and their career is based on their reputation. And if you start lying on somebody and defaming somebody, it can affect their career and their business. And all they got to do is prove just one or two things that show that they was affected. Maybe their income dropped, or maybe say if they are a author or something, and the book sales dropped right after that statement, then, hey, yeah, you showing proof that, yeah, it did affect some type of way. So you just have to be careful on that right there. That's all I'm saying on that. Now, you know, he said she had a husband and she didn't, you know, and it wasn't true. And some people need to know that rather you saying stuff for likes, clicks, and views and to go viral and all that, and you telling deliberate lies on people on social media, you know, just to get some of those laugh and a kiki and a ha-ha, you could be held accountable, you know. Now Shannon is most likely trying to resolve something with Miss Tillman behind the scenes. Yeah. So, wow. And Chad too. You know, and then when she was trying to contact him and tell him to take it down, is basically giving that they disregarded the truth. Like they didn't want to correct the truth. Allegedly, that's the way she's saying that, hey, even with me trying to contact them, it just was being ignored, you know. And Chad and Shannon have millions of views combined. So, but my thing is, will she be able to prove damages and emotional distress regarding this situation? Everything else I see that, yeah, she got it for defamation. But that one that says being able to prove it, will she be able to prove it? Probably. And if she do, then, you know, they'll probably come up with something. But my thing is, why did Shannon dog this here black lady out? You know what I'm saying? Why did Shannon feel so comfortable dogging and lying on this black lady? Him and Chad. They felt comfortable and laughing and joking and stuff about, yeah, she was up on that stage, yeah, but now she ain't got no husband. Now she ain't got no husband. It's like, okay, that whole thing was made up. It was a lie. But my thing is, why did they even pick that anyway? I'm just asking the question. Why did they even pick that anyway to talk about? Because I noticed that this lady does have a lawsuit on them, but it's not about anything SAE or R-word charge or nothing like that. It's for defamation and dogging a person, and he don't even know this lady. Now, when it comes to Gabby, he ain't said one bad word about her. That's who he should have been dogging. That's who he should have been embarrassing. But he never have. He didn't before she put the lawsuit down. And since Gabby got the money, he still ain't said one bad word about Lil Lily Gabby. Only thing he said about Gabby is it's a money grab. I just want to tell y'all I'm innocent and it's a money grab. But far as dogging her and kiki and the ha, he ain't doing none of that to Gabby. And here is a black woman he don't even know. And he felt comfortable with dogging her. Ain't had a relationship with her. None of that. Just comfortable with this is a shot and a chance to say something nasty about a black woman. That's what it's given. I don't think he should have came on TV and said anything about his daughters who are black. I don't think he should have came on and said anything about his limit is $30,000. Just keep that to yourself. That's embarrassing too for the daughter. That her dad up there saying, hey, at your wedding you gonna have a fish plate and cornbread and a styrofoam cup of sweet tea for everybody. But he ain't said one bad word about this one who snatched his money. And he know her, Gabby. And this one is his ex. Her lawsuit been against Shannon since 2023. Only thing he's really said about her is she deleted her husband. But far as embarrassing her, like hard, I mean, I guess you say somebody deleted their husband, you know, I guess you just trying to, you know, hit them with a low blow and try to stick them where it hurts or something like that. But my thing is, okay, if you say this lady here, you gonna wait until she put a lawsuit on you, then you say, oh, and she deleted her husband. Yeah, allegedly, that's what he said. I'm like, okay, so you just now finding that out? Why you didn't say nothing from the beginning? I mean, that's just a question. I'm just saying. So anyway, this here lady here, his ex is suing him. She was dating him when he was playing football and all that good stuff. So she has a lawsuit down on him too. So now she is kind of upset at the fact that Gabby got her money before she did, because she had her lawsuit in way before Gabby, okay? But now she was requesting that this thing here speed up, because she want to hurry up and go to court about her and Shannon incident. So, you know, she accused him of threatening to destroy her after the 2010 SA. She claimed that he essayed her and R'd her, okay? That's what she said, okay? So she said that Evans, a former sports reporter, so she was a sports reporter, okay, claimed she dated Sharpe for nearly a decade, starting in 2002. She alleged that in 2010, after confronting Sharpe about infidelity, he, took it from her and R'd her. Allegedly, this is what she said. Evans claimed he threatened to ruin her if she went public, and that she filed a restraining order, but later dropped it due to fear. Sharpe team denied the allegations and claimed Evans is obsessed with Shannon. So that's what they say. She obsessed with him. He didn't do that. So defamation, Evans, 2023 lawsuit. See, she put a lawsuit down on him in 2023 against Shannon. Is for defamation. She alleged Sharpe publicly discussed their legal disputes and falsely claimed she tried to delete her husband. See, that's what she got down there. Okay? But my thing is, after the lawsuit is when Shannon said this, allegedly. So I'm just saying, that didn't look good in itself, because it's like, okay, you just now telling people this, but you been knew it, but now you gonna say it? Why didn't you say this? If you thought she had tried to delete her husband, why didn't you say something way before now? I'm just asking a question. But anyway, she want her money. She wants some money, and she said her lawsuit been in longer than Gabby's, okay? And she said her lawsuit done been in longer than Miss Tillman, who's talking about defamation and all that. She said, hey, she tired of being on the back burner. She want this pushed. Okay, so then you'll see the judge in Evans' case recently ordered the S-tape related to the Jane Doe lawsuit not be destroyed, as it could be relevant evidence. So what the judge is saying, this lady's here, the judge that's working her case, said after Shannon had got through with the other case, I believe they talking about Gabby, who they saying Jane Doe, allegedly. I'm not sure. Let's just say allegedly. But he's saying whatever court case that Shannon just got through with, they used the S tape in that regarding the Jane Doe case that Shannon settled. And so this lady judge is saying, hey, we want that tape too for her case. Don't destroy that tape. Send that tape over here to us because we're going to use that same tape in her case. Because what she's saying is kind of similar to that tape, and she ain't even seen that tape. But what she had in her lawsuit in 2023 kind of coincide and goes with the evidence y'all used in another case. If y'all get what I'm saying. Okay? Allegedly. That's how the judge is saying. But anyway, the judge said, don't y'all destroy that tape. We want to use it in this case as well. So Shannon got 2 more suits against him that we know of. That's the Tillman that was dancing with Usher. And then you got Shannon ex, Michelle Evans. Okay? Yeah. Now, so my thing is right here what I was saying, that Shannon had been, saying things about black women. We talked about this before. This is not my first time talking about Shannon, just blurting out stuff all the time about black women, and a lot of people be talking about it. You see, MSN, Shannon Sharpe destroyed on social media for insulting a black woman. He was talking about a woman hair, and then he talking about another black woman can't do nothing for him but this or that. But whatever the this and that is kind of degrading, not well. So what I'm saying is, in this case, this black woman that's suing him is because he was dogging and ragging her. But for some reason, I have not heard Shannon dog or rag Gabby or Michelle, his ex. Hadn't said one bad word about him at all. And they the one that putting them through the ringer. See, if these two hadn't put a lawsuit on them, and say if it was just just Tillman's case, he'll still have his job. And it wouldn't be a whole lot of millions and millions. Now, they say she asking for 20 mil. I don't think she's going to get no 20 mil. But the thing is, that type of case is not as bad when you say, oh, well, he defamed her, whatever. Okay. I think ESPN and all the rest of them can deal with that if this case here never happened or this case here is not happening. But by him having these two that got something to do with that bedroom forcing and SA and all word and all that, that cost him his job. But think about it. He ain't said one bad word for real about now one of these ladies. Not to go viral. He went viral talking about this one. He ain't went viral yet. He went viral for what money she got, and that hers is right behind it. But what I'm saying is, Shannon has not dogged, said nothing about he ain't said nothing about her and a horsehair, or red horsehair. He ain't said none of that like he do with black women. Why is that? He ain't know nothing about this black lady at all. But he thought it was cute and funny in a kiki ha-ha moment to just embarrass her and dog her and lie on her in public because he's used to doing that. That's my opinion. I've heard the man. And I'm Shannon Sharpe's age around it now. So I know there's a lot of people who are not old enough to know how Shannon was in his 20s and 30s. But a lot of us who are Shannon's age know how he has talked about black women. And a lot of people probably ain't paying no attention, let it fly over their head. But a lot of us don't forget, and we know. Wow. So anyway, move on. Diddy, he trying to get up out that jail. And like we said, his lawyers put in that request for him to get out of jail. Don't know, because the prosecutor came back hard too. So when Diddy lawyers put in that request for him to get bail, prosecutors came right back hard, and they told the judge, they wrote a letter to the judge and say no, 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 no. And besides, in the prosecutor's letter, they also put in that letter that they are expecting for Diddy to get more time than what they previously said. So it looks like they're trying to push for Diddy to get the maximum time. At first they were saying about 2 to 5 years. Now they're saying the 10 years for the counts that he did. Okay, so the prosecutor did send in their letter, and they told the judge, they wrote the judge and said, no, we don't want him to get out. Despite hope for release on bail, federal prosecutors insisted the hip-hop mogul must remain behind bars as he awaits sentence. So the prosecutor wrote their letter on Friday, and they said, no, 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 judge, don't let him get bail. Not at all. He needs to stay in here until October the 3rd when he have his sentence. We don't care nothing about what his lawyers and them offering no $50 million bail and be monitored, and he'll come in and check in and all that. They said, because they don't trust him doing that either. That's what they say. Now, the prosecutor also said, family, they said that, however, he was convicted on 2 counts of transporting and engaging in prostitution after arranging for girlfriends and males, prostitutes, to travel for encounters. And each count carry a potential sentence of up to 10 years in prison. Okay? And initially, prosecutors suggested that the sentence guidelines indicate a 4 to 5 year prison term. But now, in their new letter they wrote Friday saying they don't want Diddy to get bail, they put in there his 10-year prison term. So see, they done up the ante, and they don't want Diddy to come out of that. That's what it's giving. So they are, look like, requesting for him to stay in there. Yeah, the prosecutors revealed in the Manhattan federal court filings on Thursday that they now believe the sentence guideline will be substantially higher, signaling the possibility of a significantly longer punishment. So see, they trying to keep him in there. So the prosecutors in their new letter Friday has upped the ante. And they said, yeah, we know what we said in court, that, you know, these charges could give him about 4 to 5 years. But no, judge. Now, we think it might be significantly higher because each count goes up to 10 years in prison. Wow. So they said they don't want him out. And they say that the law requires to keep Diddy in there until his sentence unless he can prove exceptional circumstances, which in their view he cannot. So what they're saying is, by law, it does say that they can keep him in there if they consider him like a threat, a danger, tampering with witnesses. They just fear for some witnesses and things like that. They can keep him in there by law. And they said the only exception is an exceptional circumstances, which means like if he had a illness that needed him or required him to have certain medical attention, then that's an exceptional matter. But in Diddy's case, they said he has none. They also emphasized Diddy's history, his history of violence, and his continued attempt to minimize his recent violent conduct. Demonstrates his dangerousness and that he is not amendable to supervision. So they said no. They all this stuff about he could check in and he could check and all that stuff. They said no. We're not standing for that because he's still a flight risk to us. We need to keep him in here. We can't. We don't want to trust none of that. That's basically what they said. Okay, make a long story short, family. His lawyer kept saying he does not pose a threat to the community. The prosecutor said they beg to differ. Okay, so now his lawyer said that Diddy is in there, and he's been in there since September, and he hasn't been outside since September. He hasn't had sun on his skin. So his lawyer is saying, like, look here, he's been locked up. He hasn't been able to breathe fresh air. No sunlight has been able to hit his skin. He can't even feel the breeze and nothing from the outside. Say they have artificial lighting in there. And so this basically sounds like a rich cry. You know, Diddy's been on the high horse for so long, they calling all the lights in the facility artificial lights. And I understand that they're saying the lamps and the overhead lights are artificial. It's not sunlight. Okay, I understand all that. But all that, he ain't been able to feel the breeze, and he hasn't been able to feel the wind, and his skin hasn't been able to, you know, get in contact with the sun. What? If you don't get in there and play big boy style and suck it up, yes. We don't, now, you know, they could have came with a better excuse of why Diddy need to get up out of there, such as y'all don't have a domestic violence course in here, and so he needs to get out and get that done. Y'all don't have like a treatment center for addictions. He needs to get that done. He's trying to get on the right track, and he really wants to get out of here so he can get a lot of these courses done. We can have these courses done within about 30 days or about 2 weeks at least. By the time we come to court on the 3rd, we're going to have at least 2 of these classes done. That's what should have been said. I mean, that's my opinion now. Now, he got some high power lawyers now, so he know, but I'm just saying, I think that would have sounded better when you talking to people, because I think he was doing an interview on this, and he was telling the people about, you know, he hadn't been able to get the sunlight and the breeze and all that stuff. And I would have took advantage of interviews and talking like, you know, hey, he want to do this, he want to do that. I would have wanted that to go viral so people would hear, and maybe it'll hit the judge ear. He ain't supposed to be really listening to this stuff, but if he is listening to it, he'll hear that we are trying to do something to correct our wrong, you know? But anyway, that's just my opinion, family. But anyway, so the prosecutors wrote that letter and said, nah, they don't want him to get out. So the judge still hasn't made his decision yet. His lawyer also did an interview and saying that he is a remarkably smart man and was a valuable teammate in his own defense. So he worked with his case for 20 hours a day, every day. And he said that the lawyers worked on his case like 20 hours a day, and Diddy was a big part of that. But now that the case is over, he said Diddy just have a lot of time to himself, and he's just doing a lot of writing, and he's writing a lot of essays, okay? And he's trying to pass time productively. Yeah. And he's trying to start a program for the inmates in jail. Unlike other prison facilities, there's almost no programs in that detention center that he's in. Okay? Now, here, I noticed that they asked Diddy's lawyer this right here. They said, how likely is a pardon from Donald Trump? Have you been in communications with the administration? His lawyer said, I am not involved in that in the least. I have literally no idea. There are times I think there's nothing to it, and there are times I think it's just rumor mill stuff. But I do not purport to know the president's mind. So, I just wanted to show that a lot of this stuff about Trump pardoning Diddy, I feel is a lot of rumor. Now, Diddy is going to have to really make up a lot of things or apologize to Trump, because he was Trump's good friend. See, people are bringing up pictures of Diddy and Trump hanging together business-wise and things like that back in the day. But what they are not saying is that Diddy switched on Trump and then started supporting the Dems. And when he was supporting the Dems, he said a lot of things that was kind of offensive towards Trump. Trump do not take too kindly of people dogging him. You're going to have to do a whole lot of apologizing, and you're going to have to prove yourself to him in order for him to basically forgive what you said about him. That's just Trump. Trump is petty like that. Okay? So people are forgetting to put that in there. And that's why I think that if Trump do it, now I know that somebody called Trump out and they asked Trump, are you going to pardon Diddy or do you? He said, I don't know anything about the full scope of the case. I just have to see how the case ends or what's going on with the case before I say anything about that. Well, that's what Trump's supposed to say. He's not going to say, oh, he dogged me. But he did say, I know he don't like me, and he used to be my friend, but I don't, he said he don't hold grudges to people who don't like him. He would still be fair and things like that. But everybody know Trump. If you really know Trump, Trump is petty. He going to say that on air, but really, he going to want him a good apology from Diddy. And I don't know how Diddy go. If he do pardon Diddy, you better believe Diddy most likely had to apologize his butt off. And then don't be surprised if he pardoned Diddy. Diddy will never be a DM again. He'll be right behind Trump. You'll start hearing it. Yeah. But Trump is like this. If you switch on me one time, you might switch on me again. So I'm just saying, Trump is petty. Point blank, period. So we'll have to see what he say. Like after the trial, I really don't think that he's gonna do no pardon. Not unless him and Diddy come with some type of agreement, because Diddy did dog the man for a minute. But anyway, they also asked Diddy's lawyer. Last week, Diddy X account posted and then quickly deleted the eye emoji, which of course sparked headlines. Does he have access to social media from jail, or do you know who is posting for him? This is the first I'm hearing of this. Eyes? Like your eyes? So Diddy lawyers acting like he don't know nothing about this post that came up last week, that on Diddy's account that he had two eyeballs looking, and that's all it had was two eyeballs. And so everybody was like, oh, Diddy got access to social media or whatever. Well, his lawyer is saying, I ain't know nothing about nothing was posted on social media. And so then he said, honestly, this is the first I'm hearing of it. I don't know. He doesn't have access to social media, I don't think. So now, see, this is what I'm saying. I don't know who is operating Diddy's social media, okay? But somebody did put eyes up under his social media last week. What was the eyes for? I guess like, hey, is some information coming out, or hey, my lawyer's getting ready to put in for bail, or hey, check this out. I don't know. But the thing is, Diddy is not supposed to have access to social media, so those eye emojis shouldn't even went up there. Now, maybe Diddy don't have access to his account and someone else put it up there, like one of his kids, one of his sons, or something like that, or his assistant. Don't know. But the eye emoji did come up under Diddy's account. Now, this is what we are saying. Things like that cannot happen. So if somebody else is operating Diddy's account, they are making it bad for him, because the judge is sitting back and weighing if he should give this man bond or not. Now you got prosecutors saying he can't be trusted. And having an eye and posting something on your IG is showing them that, hey, this ain't even supposed to be operating. So you can't be trusted. Even if Diddy didn't write it, it's going to look like Diddy wrote it. So whoever is operating it is basically messing Diddy up, because they shouldn't have never put nothing on their social media anyway. Diddy's social media shouldn't have nothing on it from the time, after the time he got locked up. Nothing should be on there. Nothing should be on there from the time he got locked up, because that makes him look bad. Even though he say, I ain't do that, well, probably one of my kids did it. Regardless, they messing you up. That can't happen. You're trying to get out on bail and somebody throw an eye emoji up there, like it's Diddy. And the prosecutors are saying, he can't be trusted, see? He can't be trusted. So if his social media, he putting eyes on the social media, what them eyes for? Who is he looking at? Who is he scoping? Who is he sending the message to? See, they could take that any type of way. So sometimes your own people cannot mean to mess you up, but it will. That's all I'm saying. So we don't know what the judge is going to do. Let me move on from Diddy. But we'll see. The judge haven't made his decision. Maybe he'll make his decision tomorrow, Monday, or Tuesday, if he's going to let Diddy out on bail. I don't know, because that judge has been very, very strict on Diddy, for real. They done denied Diddy bail like 2 times already. This might be the 3rd time. He might just have to sit in there until October the 3rd and see what goes on. Now, let me say this right quick before I close out, because Antonio Brown say he broke. And Antonio Brown, wide receiver, retired. He ain't playing no more. But he's supposed to be owing people millions of dollars, okay? He done filed for bankruptcy, Chapter 11. Now, then they find out that he been lying. So they threw him off for Chapter 11. They threw him off of Chapter 11 and put him on Chapter 7, which means that Chapter 7, they can confiscate your property and belongings and assets and things like that, okay? So Antonio just got caught lying. So as y'all see, former Antonio Brown, the NFL, the wide receiver who made nearly $81 million during his 12 years in NFL career, recently confirmed the reports that he has filed for bankruptcy, okay? Now y'all will see down here, Antonio Brown, an examination of troubling post-NFL life. Brown's first bankruptcy attorney has since resigned, and his case has been converted to Chapter 7. So I guess, when you're on Chapter 11, he told them people he didn't own no more than $50,000 worth of stuff. He said, I'm not worth no more than $50,000. Then come to find out that he got more than that. Okay, he got in the millions. He got like $1 million worth of house. One house is worth $1 million. Another house is worth $1 million. Okay. So then they said, well, then you lying. So his lawyer resigned because the lawyer was like, his first lawyer resigned. It's like, look here, I can't keep going through this. Every time I think we got it on track, you do something to show that you got more than what you saying you got. I'm done. So he left. Okay. So the bankruptcy court ain't playing with him. But the thing is, Antonio had the nerve to write a troll post about Shannon. Antonio Brown trolled Shannon Sharpe, saying that now he has less money than his OnlyFans accuser. Now that was funny. That was funny that Antonio Brown said Shannon Sharpe. He said that Shannon has less money now than his OnlyFans accuser. Now that was funny. But my thing is that that was funny. That was funny. But the thing is, Antonio can't talk because Antonio about got less money than Shannon's accuser too. Okay? Because he filing for bankruptcy. So how he talking? But anyway, y'all will see that he downplayed his rich lifestyle. Okay? He downplayed it and he got caught. And now that he got caught, this is what he did. He's saying that he didn't have but like $50,000, okay? However, it has been disputed and the creditors and the trustees assigned to the case criticized Brown for financially mix-ups and a lack of transparency, okay? So his debts is, he owed nearly $3 million to 8 creditors, as y'all see right there. The largest claim is a $1.2 million court judgment related to an incident with a moving truck driver. I remember that. That's when a truck driver came to his house and the truck driver was coming in there to repossess some of Antonio's property inside the house, and Antonio was going off and it got into a scuffle or something, and you know the man got kind of messed up or whatever. But then there's another debt, including those from lawsuits, credit card debts, and unpaid bills for services, okay? Loss of assets. Brown admits to having blown his fortune. He said he broke, okay? He said, I blew all my money. I blew everything. He said he broke. He had to help his family. He was supporting his family and all that. And he said, look here, I'm broke. I don't have it. I ain't got no more than $50,000. And then they realized he told a lie, okay? That he got more than $50,000. So, now they threw his case in Chapter 7, which means that the court can now seize access and garnish wages to repair credits, okay? Bankruptcy trouble, the latest series, legal Brown include lawsuits. Yeah, he got lawsuits like for assault, battery, reckless driving, misconduct allegations. He also have one for attempted deletion at a amateur boxing thing, you know. So now they said that they was hoping that Brown can pay off his debts. And said that at the start of their meetings and stuff that they was having with him, that they felt like they can come to agreements and he can do some payments and things like that. But Antonio keep hiding or not giving them all of his bank statements, documents, including the original deed of one of his houses that he owns in Florida, which could be put up for sale to pay off some of Brown's debts, okay? So he's not cooperating with none of that stuff. He's like, nah. And he went over there to Dubai because after he did that attempted deletion on somebody, he went to Dubai so that they can't get him, because they put out a warrant on him, but he was already in Dubai. He hadn't been back since. Okay, so he been over to Dubai for a minute. So that's why they keep trying to get him to come to this bankruptcy court to do a deposition and all that. Antonio ain't coming back. Now, he have done the court thing through Zoom, but far as him trying to come back to the United States, he said he talking to him through Zoom. And they don't like that, so be it. You know, but they trying to get him off in the courtroom. But now they did say that they asked Brown several questions through their Zoom, okay? And they asked him several questions about his life in Dubai and some of his activities on social media, including a June 26 post on X in which the former NFL wideout posted a screenshot of an account balance exceeding $24 million with the caption, "Bankruptcy over." Brown replied that it was an old post. He does not have an account with $24 million. So see, Antonio keep playing these folk face, and these folks ain't hearing it. And the people want their money, and the people are saying, hey, we tired of this bankruptcy thing. The people who Antonio owe, they tired of going through this bankruptcy thing because Antonio Brown ain't acting right. And they saying he over there in Dubai. He ain't trying to come here. He's not giving up all his financial paperwork. He won't give up the deeds to his house. And see, it's going to be hard for them to kind of seize his house without them deeds. But I guess if it becomes a court order, they could take it anyway. You know, but they have to go through a longer process, and Antonio know that, and he just playing with them. But he's over there, you know, living it up, and they saying that he be posting stuff over there. He be posting stuff on his X, driving these luxurious cars and sports cars and all that stuff over there in Dubai. So they said they was asking him, well, hell, you say you broke, but you over there in Dubai, you posting that an account of $20 million. Who account is that? He said that ain't his account. Then he riding around in luxurious cars and, you know, luxury stuff and all that stuff in Dubai. Now he's saying, oh, those are not my cars. Usually they give me that for promotion. Like if somebody, Brown said he sometimes has access to sports cars as part of promotional agreements with the rental companies. So that's what he's saying. Okay? But they have no way of verifying it because he's over there in Dubai. And he won't come here. Brown also indicated that he could soon return to the United States, where he has a warrant out for his arrest after being charged with attempted second-degree deletion on June the 11th. The charge stems from an alleged altercation outside an amateur boxing event on May 16th in Miami. So ever since right before, he knew most likely that they was getting ready to put a warrant out on him. So he jetted to Dubai before they put that warrant out on him. And right when he got into Dubai, nobody knew he was in Dubai. And I think it was like a couple of weeks later, the warrant was dropped. But he was already in Dubai. Okay, and he been in Dubai ever since. Yeah. So they asked him, would he come back to the United States? He said, hopefully yes, Brown said, when asked if he planned to return to the United States at some point in the near future. So, I don't know. But they do say that they asked him to sit down for a deposition in the bankruptcy case because he has an active warrant out for his arrest. He likely would be detained by Customs and Border Protection upon returning to the United States. So, most likely he's not going to come. That's my opinion. Because he went over there to Dubai to avoid going to jail. because he know that he owes so many people, ain't no time. Then that attempted deletion on him. Then he got the assault thing, you know, that they want a judgment on him from that truck driver. And that truck driver is supposed to be getting 1.3 mil and from his lawsuit. He ain't got that. Then Antonio got that attempted charge for deletion. He ain't coming back, I don't think. I think he's just done made his home over there in Dubai. And that's all I could say. But the judge was saying he hoped that Antonio comes back and do the right thing. And you know, Dubai and the United States do have a treaty where they can extradite him back over here because it's a criminal matter. That's the one that he got the warrant on him for attempted deletion, you know. They could extradite him back over here. Would they even go to that? I don't know. Would they just leave him alone? I don't know. But the United States and Dubai do have a treaty to where if they really wanted to, they can try to make arrangements to get Antonio extradited back over here to the United States, you know. So, wow. But I don't think he's coming back this way, family. I really don't. I don't think he's coming back no time soon. I think if he do, they gonna have to extradite him. Yes, they gonna have to do something. So, but that's all I got, family. I just want to tell everybody thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sending loves and hugs out to everyone. And I want to give a shout out to everyone who donated in the last video. Shanita Lander, thank you so much. Sending loves and hugs to you. Thank you so much for your generosity. Your generosity is greatly appreciated. And Jerry K. Lipcomb, thank you so much for your generous donation. Your generosity is greatly appreciated as well. So thank you all for all y'all support. Just thank y'all. That's all I can say is just thank y'all. I can't say it enough. I say it so much. I really do appreciate it. Sending loves and hugs to you all. Sending love and hugs to the moderators. They do an awesome job in the chat. Put some hearts up in the chat for the moderators because they give great hospitality and all that. So just sending a lot of love to our moderators. Those moderators been with me for a long time, okay? Yes, and I just want to send a shout out to them, special thanks to them. And shout out to the whole Knowledge family. Love, hugs, and kisses. Thank you to the viewers as well. Gain knowledge to prevent blockage, and we all know what that means. The more you know, the harder it is for anybody to block you out from your goals and success. Bye-bye.